To Uniswap Subgraph, you need to start by understanding what a subgraph is and its role in the Uniswap protocol. A subgraph is an open-source project that indexes and organizes blockchain data, making it easily accessible for querying. The first step to Uniswap Subgraph is to set up a graph node, which is a server that runs the subgraph and indexes the blockchain data. You can do this by installing the Graph CLI and initializing a new subgraph project. Next, you need to define the schema for your subgraph, which determines the structure of the data that will be indexed. This is done by creating a schema file that specifies the entities and their relationships. After defining the schema, you need to write a mapping function that tells the graph node how to extract data from the blockchain and transform it into the schema you defined. Once you have written the mapping function, you need to deploy the subgraph to a hosted service or a local graph node. To deploy to a hosted service, you need to create an account and follow the instructions for deploying a subgraph. To deploy locally, you need to start the graph node and use the Graph CLI to deploy the subgraph. After deploying the subgraph, you can start querying the data using the Graph CLI or a GraphQL client. Best practices for Uniswap Subgraph include optimizing the performance of your subgraph by minimizing the amount of data that needs to be indexed and using efficient mapping functions. It is also important to test your subgraph thoroughly to ensure that it is working correctly and to monitor its performance over time. By following these steps and best practices, you can successfully Uniswap Subgraph and start accessing valuable data from the Uniswap protocol. It is recommended to have a good understanding of the Uniswap protocol in GraphQL before attempting to Uniswap Subgraph. Additionally, it is important to stay up to date with the latest developments in the Uniswap protocol and the Graph protocol to ensure that your subgraph remains compatible and efficient. Overall, Uniswap Subgraph is a powerful tool for accessing and analyzing data from the Uniswap protocol and can be a valuable resource for developers and researchers.